morning. Welcome to Hitchhiking Stars YouTube channel. Tuesdays, the day to post a video. Now, how was it? The full moon with the T-square with Pluto. I mean, if you do have your personal planets there, I would imagine that was a lot more intense. I remember a few years ago, and I'm saying that by experience, because I remember a few years ago when I had Pluto square to my moon. I have natal moon Libra, and there was an eclipse at that exact, the 15 degree of Libra Aries axis, and it was very intense. It was very intense few days, but obviously the fact that I knew astrology helped a little bit to cope, to have a little bit of space between what was going on. But definitely the transformation that I was going through, which was that kind of 5-year period, intensified around those days. So I would imagine that for some of you, that's what was going on during this full moon, with Pluto involved at the late degrees of cardinal signs. So full moon was on Saturday. If you're just passing by and you're like, what are you talking about? The full moon happened this Saturday at 26 degrees Libra. So we had the Libra Aries axis and square 90 degrees to Pluto at 28 degrees Capricorn. So I've had a lot of people writing to me and saying, yes, definitely, this is really resonating, and I do have planets at those cardinal degrees. So keep writing to me, because I really appreciate to see what's going on with you, personal stories. I mean, that's what I'm doing with my dissertation, is to listen to people's stories. I really like to see things through their own eyes, through your own eyes. How do you feel that? And I think this has been my sort of like niche since I started my blog in 2014, writing about astrology, but with a kind of a personal take on it, and sharing my experiences, because I couldn't detach, to that level of like just talking about moons in the signs without putting myself in there. I guess that Mid-Heaven in Leo says a lot about it. So with no more, I'm not going to prolong myself too much in here. Let's have a look at the chart, and let's have a look at what's going on for this week, since the full moon is kind of waning now. I mean, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This is a 3-day that's kind of winding down. So the energy is sort of slowly winding down. So what's there for us to hitchhike on? So what kind of energies are available? So this is the chart for today. Again, because in the background I'm back to my current house, which won't be for too long, but this is the chart for right now for setup for London, and not like massive huge things happening. I think turning points, lunations, new moons, full moons, I think they are very, very clear, with the energy shifting, with the moon representing the tides, moving our own inner tides, and etc. But there are a couple. No, there is an ingress. So Sun ingresses to Taurus. So here it is. So today 29 Aries, tomorrow 0 degrees Taurus. So Taurus season begins tomorrow officially. And when we talk about the seasons, like Libra season, Aries season, etc., etc., well, the sun is passing by that sign of the zodiac, and it really, what the sun represents is consciousness, is awareness, is a big huge spotlight. So whatever the sun is transitioning, whatever is Taurus in your chart, that's definitely going to be highlighted. I participated at the Astrology University, Tony Howard's Astrology University's podcast yesterday with Vanessa Montgomery, and we talked a lot about the Taurus season and all things Taurus season. It was very interesting, and I actually really enjoyed it. Found it really insightful to be thinking about in those terms, in terms of the seasons, in terms of the ingress of the sun. So pay attention to where Taurus is in your chart. Where is your Taurus? Because now for the Taurian season, or the house that's ruled, that has Taurus on the cusp, because now during Taurus season, that's what's really under the spotlight. That's what's really there for you to have, insights to look into. And obviously, Uranus is transitioning that, sign. So there's a lot to do with changes that's been going on already. But during Taurus season, you can become more aware of these changes. You can see it a bit more. You can, it becomes clearer, basically. So there's a little stellium there in Taurus, the Uranus, Mercury, and North Node. And mind you, this week, not much going on this week, so enjoy it. Take it easy. Enjoy the stellium in Pisces. We have Mars, Venus, that Jupiter, Neptune, which is still within orb. Enjoy it for daydreaming, for vision boards. I think vision boards are the best to think about with Pisces. This is fire signs as well, I think. But think about vision boards, because within, on the 30th, so that's today's it's the 20th tomorrow, so in 10 days we have a new moon eclipse, and it's a kickstart of eclipse season. So look after yourself, enjoy this time, enjoy this shift into Taurus season to do a lot of self-care. Self-care is really important when we're going through all these changes, and eclipse season is like a portal of big changes. Yeah, no returning, as like no negotiable, I think. Changes are reflected by the eclipse season. So I think during this week is really important to wind down as a kind of a process of the moon coming to meet the sun again, and being ready for the eclipses as well. And so next week's video, I'll talk a little bit more about the eclipses, because we'll be like closer to them. It'll be interesting. So maybe I'll do a whole video on the eclipse season. I'm doing a podcast with Alejo Lopez next week about the eclipse season. So it's going to be a whole episode about eclipses in general as well. So that's well worth checking as well. It's on Spotify or Anchor FM as well, the Out of Bounds Astrology podcast. So anyways, nevertheless, let's keep having a look. So Saturday, the 23rd of April, we have Mercury conjunction North Node, 22 degrees. So coming to sextile that Neptune, but sextile where the Neptune-Jupiter conjunction happened as well. So I think that transits past, the conjunction, they do speak to that new cycle, to that new beginning, like a next unfoldment, a next development somehow. So that's interesting. Mercury on the North Node there, some more insights towards our growth, towards developing a little bit more stability within change. Isn't it? It's a balance. It's such a fine line between changing, going with the changes, allowing changes to happen, surfing the waves, and remaining true to yourself and authentic, and creating a stability within as well, which I think is really represented by that North Node in Taurus that we're all, witnessing now. So something on those lines that could be highlighted there. Mercury will square Saturn. We have a Mercury conjunction North Node is square Saturn. Now, mind you, this is the degree. It's like Mercury is coming up to the degree of the sun when there's going to be the full moon eclipse. So pay attention, around Sunday, Monday next week, up to Tuesday next week, when Mercury is at 26. So between Monday and Tuesday next week, 25th, 26th of April, very interesting time to pay attention to any ideas, any communications, anything, because you might go back to that, because that Mercury will go retrograde in May, and it will go retrograde from Gemini back to this degree of Taurus. So something that happens around that, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday as well, out there, say, that we're going to revisit. And also the eclipse will be happening as well around that time. So keep your eyes peeled, pay attention. You don't need to control anything. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to, manipulate anything, but just pay attention. Journaling is a great way. Just do a bit of journaling. Just write down what comes up, because these themes will be revisited, will be important during May. So this is just a little, flag there for you to pay attention to. And then I think late Monday, Moon will move into Pisces, and we'll have this huge stellium in Pisces. Again, very dreamy, very, very laid back as well. I mean, we have Mars, Moon, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter in Pisces, Sun, Uranus, North Node in Taurus. Very potentially relaxing, even though Moon, Mars will be conjoined there, as we see. Is in Pisces. So a lot of daydreaming, a lot of vision boards, a lot of, becoming aware of how you want things to unfold, how you want things to go, and self-care, a lot of self-care. Drink a lot of water, do a lot of yoga, a lot of walks in the forest, whatever it is. I'm saying things that I find particularly nourishing, but if you're, Moon in Aries, might find running nourishing, go for runs, look after yourself during this week. Enjoy this little break. And the ingress into Taurus to do a lot of Taurian self-care, Venusian, things. Look after yourself, eat good foods, take it easy, because you will need to be replenished to go through the week of the eclipse, especially if you have your chart being picked up by those eclipses. And we'll talk about that next week. So for now, this is it. I'm gonna go, but comment underneath, because I really, really, really enjoy to see what you're going through, the things that you're resonating with, and how you're finding astrology helpful or not. Share your thoughts, share your ideas with me, because I really truly appreciate. And yeah, that's it. See you all next week. Bye bye.